So today I'm going to be talking about something a bit lighter to some of the videos that I usually make, and this is the law of resonance. And this is something that I learnt about in 2006, towards the end of 2006. And before that point, I'd learnt about the law of attraction, and then I came to see that the law of resonance is something that is far deeper. It explains why we have the experiences that we do, and also what can be done to allow someone to manifest whatever it is that they desire. And I've got a few notes here. So what this law states is that at the root, everything is made up of vibrating energy. And so in order for two people to be drawn together, or a person to be drawn to a thing, so a car or a house or an experience, they will need to be vibrating at the right frequency. And as long as this is taking place, they will be able to bring in what they want to experience or what they want to attain. And this is why, unless someone has a match within them, unless they are vibrating at the right frequency, it will be impossible for them to attract something or to experience something, because there won't be a match. So just as if someone is tuned into the channel that is all about comedy, they won't be able to watch films that are all about action, because they won't be tuned into that genre. And not only does someone have their own field, a country has its own field, a city has its own field, an environment, a town. And when it comes to someone's field, and this will define what they can attract and what they will repel. This is made up of someone's thoughts, their feelings, their beliefs, their emotions. And there is what is going on in their conscious mind and what is taking place in their unconscious mind. And this then relates to local and non-local communication. And so on one level, the conscious level, they can be in a good place, and then they can end up being drawn to a situation where they don't feel very good. And this is because what they are experiencing is not just coming from their conscious mind, it's also coming from their unconscious mind, and their unconscious mind is non-local. And so it has a far bigger impact on their life than their conscious mind does. And what this also shows is that if someone needs to be vibrating at a certain frequency in order to experience something, it means that there's no such thing as bad luck or being unlucky or experiencing misfortune or there being a coincidence. It means that nothing just happens. Of course, on the surface, without this understanding, it can seem as though things just happen, and that one is either lucky or unlucky, or on the receiving end of bad karma or good karma. But according to this law, everything will come down to resonance. And so with this understanding, someone of course can feel, perhaps not in the beginning, because it can seem like a burden, but as time goes by, they can see themselves as being very powerful. But without this, they will just be a victim of circumstances, and what is going on out there will be in control of their life. So this is not going to have a positive impact on their well-being. And when it comes down to applying the law of resonance, the first thing, of course, is for someone to be clear about what they want to experience. And perhaps the best thing for them to do is to start small. So manifesting a parking space is often mentioned because this seems quite believable. Whereas if someone was to think about manifesting a brand new Mercedes or touring the world or £1 million, something that might be too big, too out of reach for them right now, then their mind is just going to dismiss it and say, well, that's not possible. And they won't get very far. So if they start small, could be manifesting a car parking space or a smile or something like that. And once someone is clear about what they desire, and as I've said, as time goes on, then they can go bigger, then they will need to use the power of visualization, but this won't just be imagination. So they won't just see what they want, they will really need to feel into it, to use all their senses. So to imagine how they would feel, what they would smell, what they would taste, if they will be touching something, so they're really getting themselves involved in the experience. And this is because to their mind, to their intellect, there is a past, there is a present, there is a future. But when it comes down to what is going on beyond this level, there is only now. So if someone was to pretend that this will happen in the future, then they will continually push it out of their range. They will need to imagine that they are experiencing it now, because there is only now. And once they have done this, and this can be something that they can do for a few minutes throughout the day, and apparently if they do it at the same time each day, then this can have a positive effect, because they will be building on what they are giving out, building on the energy. And through doing this, they may start to feel the urge to take action. And so this will be inspired action. They won't just be doing things for the sake of it. It won't necessarily be coming from their mind. It will be coming from their body, from their heart. Because of course, if someone just does all the manifestations, so the visualization with feeling, and they don't do anything, then most likely what they desire is not going to show up. They will still need to take action. And along with this, they will need to trust and to let go, because if they're holding on to what they desire, then they're coming from a place of resistance and not being that which they want to experience. And so they will be pushing it away. And to go over to the second page of my notes here. The next step will be for them to journal. And this can be seen as a success journal or an evidence journal. And they will need to pay attention to the small signs that they are moving closer to having or experiencing that which they desire. Because if it's something small, then their mind can easily dismiss it and take a step back. It doesn't mean that they will need to take massive action. They can just take small steps that will lead them to having or experiencing what they desire. And so through paying attention to the clues, it will then be a positive feedback loop for them to see that they're doing the manifestation, they are seeing the evidence, and this will allow them to keep going, to keep moving towards what they desire. And it will also fill them with belief and confidence. And I've also written a section here to do with key parts. So when it comes down to attaining something or experiencing something, belief is important. And so if someone doesn't believe that it is possible for them to experience or attract something or someone, then this is going to sabotage most likely what they want to attract. And so if someone can see that they don't believe it is possible, they may need to start smaller, or they may need to question what they believe. So they can write down whatever limiting belief they have and then to ask themselves, is this true? And to look for examples of people who have manifested what they desire. And another thing is self-worth. So someone may find that although they want to attain something, they don't believe that they deserve it. They don't feel worthy of what they desire. And this will then cause them to push it away, or they might be able to attract something, but then they could end up pushing it away. And so this can be a sign that they need to do some inner work on themselves. They may have some childhood wounds to resolve. Because, of course, the more baggage that someone deals with, the more they will be in sync with what they desire anyway. But this is a process, so someone can't just get in there and clear out all their stuff and then they're done. So along with focusing on what they desire, they can also work through their baggage as it comes up. Because although someone may believe they don't deserve something, this is not the truth. The truth is they do deserve it, but most likely because of the rubbish that they've picked up and the messages that they've received throughout their life, they won't believe this. Another part of this is once someone is clear about what they desire and they use the manifestation technique and take action, they will need to be open to how it can show up. So they may believe that what they want will show up this way or show up that way, but this is going to be limited by what their mind knows, or a combination of what their experiences have been. And so they will need to be wide open to trust that there are so many ways for them to have what they desire, and that if they limit themselves, then they will slow down this process. And the fourth part I've got here is that when it comes down to manifestation, as I said in the visualization section, the feelings are most important. So their thoughts will direct their emotions to create their feelings, but it will be their feelings that will change their vibration to allow them to have what they desire. Because once they are an inner match to what they want, then what they want will show up. And so it's not so much about them attaining anything, it's simply about them being in the right place energetically. But as I've said, if they are carrying a lot of baggage, they don't believe it, they don't believe they're worthy of it, then they won't be in the right place. And this is why it has been said that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Success breeds success because someone is in that place. And I think I've covered most of the points. I will probably remember a few more once I've finished this video. But I think those are the main points. And in the upcoming videos, I will share some of the things that I have consciously manifested. And some of these, when I look back, I'm still surprised because they are quite miraculous. And if someone said to me before you would experience this, I would probably think they were crazy, because my mind simply would not believe it. And this shows that it is our mind that gets in the way. Our mind is the part that sabotages what it is that we desire unless we get this part of us on board. And once we do, then all kinds of miracles can be achieved. So please let me know your thoughts on the video, and I hope you use these steps to start consciously manifesting what you desire. If you would like to find out more about the services that I offer, please go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk, and I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.